Hey guys, Crew of Blonde Wave, I'm Eric.
I'm Calvin.
Calvin, it is time for episode 3 of season 2 of Game of Thrones. What is dead?
What is dead?
May never die.
May never die.
Exactly. Yesterday, Calvin, Game of Thrones, what happened?
Theon went to his father's castle.
Yep. Castle Pike.
Castle Pike.
Mm-hmm.
Diddled his sister.
He did diddle his sister.
Angered his father.
He did anger his father.
His father angered him. Tyrion setting things straight at the Capitol.
He sure was. Yep.
Got rid of that bastard.
Yeah. Dany had a head brought back to her instead of Ricardo, so that...
Whip guy.
Yep. I think it's Whip Guy.
I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
is.
And then, what else all happened? We didn't get any Rob last episode.
We didn't get any Rob.
Caitlyn.
No.
So we'll probably be seeing them this time.
We got a little bit of Arya and Jon.
Yes, we did. Jon, who just got hit in the head by Craster.
Also witnessed Craster taking his newborn son from one of his daughters and putting it out in the snow. And a big guy, all white, not much clothes on, in the middle of snow with blue glowing eyes, picked him up and walked off with him.
Sounds reasonable.
No. Shadow got big.
Huh?
Shadow got...
Ghost. Ghost got big.
Ghost got big.
Ghost got big. That happened. And then we did have a little bit of Stannis bumping uglies with his red woman,
Yeah.
Melisandre. So we'll have to see what all's going on with those guys, too. So, let's get into Game of Thrones, episode 3 of season 2. What is dead?
What is dead may never die.
May never die. Let's watch it. He was not happy last time this happened.
He's less happy now.
Man, Craster fucked him up.
I saw it. Saw something's in that jar. Whatever it was. I dare say you'll see it again. Now.
Oh, Samuel. I don't think you could lift a crate with her in it. Puppy.
Well, they may have done. But they're gone from the world. Along with much else.
Like dragons.
These are dreams.
And White Walkers.
Nothing more.
Spiders the size of dogs.
My dreams are different. Mine are true.
Large as
I
houses.
dreamt of my father dying.
You recognize that one helmet? Knight of Flowers. Okay.
Oh, is it?
I think so. He's getting beat. Yeah.
Move your helm.
A woman. He's like, shit. So, Brinley, who we know is gay, with Loras, is married to Loras's sister.
My son is fighting a war, not playing at one.
I like that he wears his armor and big, baggy stuff so that he looks bigger.
I pity them,
What?
because it won't last. Because they are the nights of summer and winter is coming.
Brienne,
Jeez, she's big.
alone.
Not wearing heels either.
You can follow me, my lady.
Do you know her next upcoming role?
You fought bravely today,
Um,
Brienne.
What?
Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma! She's gonna be like a head taller than all these short little stormtroopers.
And if it please you, Brienne's enough. I'm no lady.
She likes him.
Yeah,
She respects
she
him.
likes strong women.
She picked that dude up and throat slammed him,
Yeah.
choke slammed him.
Who are you? I'm Shane, my lady, your new handmaiden. I didn't know I needed a new handmaiden. Change my linens, wash my clothing, scrub the floor, empty my chamber pot, brush my hair.
First I thought she was gonna turn around. I was like, nope.
Fuck this.
I shall be silent as the grave.
considering an alliance with House Martell of Dor. Princess Marcella will wed their youngest son when she comes of age, ensuring their loyalty and their army should we need it.
Ooh, the Queen must.
It's a very good segue.
I love conversations that begin this way.
I plan to marry Princess Marcella off to Theon Greyjoy.
Do you understand what he's doing?
Yes.
You must tell no one.
Tell no one. What?
I plan to wed Princess Marcella to Robin Arryn of the Vale. If I
3 stories,
She imprisoned you.
3 men.
She tried to execute you.
He's testing them all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Do you want my brother to come in and help?
What?
But he could get you started. I know he wouldn't mind.
She's a supportive wife.
Yeah.
Marcella is my only daughter. Do you really think I'll let you sell her like a common whore?
Marcella's a princess. Some would say she was born for this.
I will not let you ship her off to Dorne as I was shipped off to Robert Baratheon.
Dorne is the safest place for her.
Dorn.
You know
Pycelle.
Martells loathe us. Ned Stark had a piece of paper too.
That's why he hasn't handed it to her yet. She'd just fucking rip it up.
Cannot stop it.
He's not gonna warn him.
He's not gonna warn him by Raven, at least.
Find him.
Oh, aye. And he has company. Filthy old stoat. Almost hate to interrupt.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Varys. It was Varys the spider. See, I told Varys that I was giving the princess to the Greyjoys. I told Littlefinger that I planned to wed her to Robin Arryn. I told no one that I was offering her to the Dornish. No one but you.
The eunuch has spies everywhere.
Cut off his manhood and feed it to the goats. No. Goats, house man? Well, make do.
I love Bronn.
How long have you been spying for my... Get him out of my sight. Throw him in one of the black cells.
No, please.
For your trouble.
He's a bit stronger than he looks.
She deserved it. Putting up with that guy.
Yeah.
A very small man can cast a very large shadow.
They like each other.
Yeah.
I do like the taste.
You don't drink it for the flavour, to be honest. I would think about it when I was working. When I was drinking, when I was having a shit. It got to the point where I would say his name every night before I went to bed. Willem. One day, Willem came riding back into town. I buried an axe so deep into Willem's skull I had to bury him with it. Willem's horse got me to the wall and I've been wearing black ever since. Wow. That'll help you sleep, eh? There's men out there want to fuck your corpses! Outside, now!
Oh dear. He's made a poor decision.
You chose. Boy.
Drop your weapons in the name of the king.
Which king will that be?
This is your last chance. In the name of King Joffrey, drop your weapons.
I don't think I will.
So be it.
I always hated crossbows. Take your guns alone!
Jeez. Man, those Lannisters and their fucking spears.
Quit saying you like people! Quit it! Strong, lad.
I would expect. Like the blacksmith.
And the son of Robert Baratheon.
You walk? You gotta carry me. Alright.
I didn't like him.
We're looking for a bastard named Gendry. Give him up, or I'll start taking eyeballs.
Already got him. Hand off that helmet.
And none of them know about the light of hair, dark of hair thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
Smart of Arya. I don't like seeing Yorn go. Quit saying you like people. Who else do you like? Joffrey?
Yeah, I like Joffrey. Damn it!
Alright, that was episode 3. What is dead may never die. Yeah, what is dead may never die is kind of like a, that's the drowned god thing. The drowned god and their religion's kind of, like, they baptize people by drowning them and then performing CPR on them. That's how you're baptized. You have to literally die with salt water in your lungs, and then if you don't come back, you weren't worthy of it.
Well, shit. It's kind of an elite.
Yeah, it is. I think there's something like that in the religion. I can't remember. Maybe it's just like the priest or something. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, what's some stuff you got, Calvin?
Seems like Bran's getting interested in old magic, fairy tales.
This is the second time.
Meister.
This is the second time we've seen that point of view from the wolf, right?
Yeah, and this time the wolf climbing up onto Bran's bed.
Yeah.
And waking him. It was interesting. I don't know if you noticed or not, but when Bran was waking up, and he lifted his head, there was a part right before he opened his eyes and looked at the wolf that his eyes were rolled back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
That's not something that normally happens when you wake up.
Not really, no.
Your eyes center and focus before your eyes open.
Yeah.
So I thought that was okay.
His were in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Interesting catch, Calvin. I will say nothing else. What else do you have?
The Meister, I can never remember.
Luwin.
Meister Luwin.
The one that's in Winterfell?
Yes.
Yes.
I can never remember his name.
Luwin.
He mentioned the dragons.
Yes.
The giants.
He mentioned things that no longer exist.
He mentioned dragons.
Yes.
He mentioned giants, and he also mentioned children of the forest.
He did mention the children of the forest, didn't he? Yeah, that's part of the history of Westeros, that there were these little creatures that they called children of the forest. And they were like the original inhabitants of Westeros. The men came and drove them out, or they had a war, and then the long night came, and the men and the children formed an alliance to defeat them. Stuff happened. Now they're no longer children. There are no children anymore. They're just another one of those stories from, and they don't really go into the children too much in this show. It's more of like a book thing. They'll do it a little bit. Every once in a while they'll say some stuff about children and that kind of thing. You gotta think of them more of like elves.
I was gonna say it's not really like a Tolkien elf, like I'm trying to think of the right, like gnomes.
Gnomes are generally old men. I mean, the children were. I mean, they look like children.
Okay.
But they are more elvish. and they can live a really long time and still have like children.
Okay.
They were also much more tied to like the old gods and magics and that kind of thing. It's just they're like leprechauns almost, except they look like children and not little redhead men.
Gotcha.
With beards. But yeah, it's a good catch because I actually wrote that down too. There's the children of the forest, and then it's our first mention of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just tied back to the times where people have no idea what's going on. White Walkers and the Andals and the First Men and the children. So as we go, we'll talk more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What else you got?
Brienne of Tarth.
Ooh, Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
Where is Tarth?
Tarth is an island. They call it the Sapphire Island, not because they have sapphires, but because it's like blue water.
Okay.
It's like a paradise almost. I think it's like towards the south in the sea. Like yeah.
Is it like Amazon? Because she's big.
She is big. It is a place of beauty, but she's not really considered to be the most beautiful woman. But she's not really considered to be a beautiful woman at all. Where she's from. That's kind of where she's gotten her fighting at. She's huge. She's big. She's strong. I think that she wants to be a knight of the Kingsguard.
Yeah.
Women aren't knights of the Kingsguard.
I saw an interview of her. I didn't realize she was playing this character.
Yeah.
But she was answering a question and she laughed, and it was a full-on like deep throaty guffaw. Like that.
Yeah, if you watch
hilarious.
We'll have to watch it some other time, but when you watch like behind the scenes stuff of her like describing what she's doing on Game of Thrones that week, and she's like,
yeah,
it's really funny.
Yeah, it's good.
I really like her. She's awesome. I'm super excited that she's part of Star Wars. I think she's gonna get real big. I mean, like literally. No, I mean figuratively.
Okay, figuratively, she's already big. Really big.
I think that she can only go higher than she is now. I can't stop. But yeah, I really like her and her story. I mean, she's introduced in season 2, but her story is just, I love it.
I think she's going to gain more stature in the acting community.
Definitely. Pun.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I don't really think that Theon appreciated the other family comment.
No, not really. Don't do that. Sorry, you're right.
I keep doing that.
I know. The other family comment, as in referring to the Starks?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Like, he's not being a dick. Like, he's helping them.
Yeah.
I can never remember his father's name.
Balon Greyjoy.
Like, Balon Greyjoy said, Stark has had you longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's doing what he feels is right. He's helping them so that he also is helped.
Mm-hmm.
But he never really severed the, I'm a Greyjoy, not a Stark.
Yeah.
I'll help you with what you're doing, but...
I mean, we saw on that piece of paper that he burnt.
Yeah. He was gonna
warn Robb that, hey, my father's going to use this opportunity to take the North. And you have to stop him.
Yeah.
And then he chose not to send it. And then we saw him being, anointed. Yeah.
Which gives me hope that he's going to gain more favor with his father and his sister. And he's going to get a big army and defend the North instead of taking it.
Yeah.
I mean, he grew up there, basically. He has memories of his brothers.
I think he stayed up until, he was 9? No, he had been gone for 9 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what time he left. He was a very young kid when he left.
I mean, Robb is supposed to be, 18 or 19 here, right? Or younger.
I think he's supposed to be around there. And because they aged the characters up, Robert's Rebellion and all the other stuff, it's kind of weird where they're supposed to be placed. You know?
But Theon is younger than Robb by what seems like a couple years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he would be 17, I would think.
Probably. But you got to remember too. I mean, he left while his country but his kingdom had been defeated. They had to have, while he was gone, they had to have gone from a conquered state trying to get back up. So he expected like an entourage of people to be there when he came back finally, and there was no one there except for his sister that doesn't trust him. And I don't think the years have been very kind to the Greyjoys, and
I don't think anybody else has
Iron
either.
Man. No, not really. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens with it.
Yeah.
I will not say a thing. What else you got?
He's not my favorite.
He's not a favorite. Okay.
He's not my favorite.
Oh, he's one of your favorites.
I will not say it.
Okay. What else you got?
Sansa is. I hope Sansa gets like a source of direction or maybe some intelligent planning from her new handmaid.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember her name. It's only been mentioned like a couple times.
Shay.
Yeah. Seems like Shay's pretty sharp.
She is. She's a very strong character.
Yeah. We still don't know where she's from.
We do not.
Tyrion doesn't know where she's from.
Nope. He's hiding her there, and it seems that Varys is helping hide her. Mm-hmm. He secured that place as the handmaiden, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that relationship, handmaiden and Lady Sansa, how that works out.
Yeah, that'll be cool to watch.
Because it seems like Sansa's kind of broken right now. She needs
very much. She doesn't have what can she do? She's a prisoner pretty much, and she's being forced to hear about nothing but how terrible she is and her father was.
I mean, at this point, if she believes there's no hope, I mean, at least she has a little bit of hope since she knows that she's not going to be wed before everything is resolved.
You gotta think of it this way. Joffrey and the small council and them, they're thinking, okay, we'll destroy Robb Stark, so there will not be Lord of Winterfell. If Joffrey marries Sansa, has an heir, they think that they can get everybody from the north to be, to take that kid as their liege lord, and that because of that marriage and because of that child, all of those oaths would then transfer to that heir of Winterfell. So it's actually a very smart plan.
Yeah. I'm hoping that she thinks something up before that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything else, I know it's a terrible thing to say, but the big reason that she was being all nicey nice with Joffrey and everything is so that her father wouldn't die.
Yeah.
He killed him anyway.
True. I think what she's doing now is the difference between her being in that nice room with servants or her being locked in a cage as a prisoner.
I mean, but
I mean, she's just a young girl. There's nothing she can do.
I mean, she could take the power away from him. She could end it like she was considering before on the catwalk.
Yeah. And sacrifice herself because she will be killed for that.
Yeah.
She's not Arya. She didn't play with,
She doesn't play with Dance Master.
And Dance Masters and archery.
Yeah.
She's a proper little lady. We'll have to see. What happens with Sansa.
Hopefully she becomes more like her mother.
Yeah. It's a very
or at least more like Shay. I mean, not maybe all like Shay.
Not too much like Shay.
I feel like Shay is like that because she likes Tyrion, not because she was just like that. I mean, she was a cook before, not a whore.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's always been like some mystery with Shay that we'll have to speculate on more as we learn more.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked a lot about Harrenhal in this episode. How Janos Slynt did have Harrenhal, and then they were going to offer it to Baelish, and that didn't happen. The reason everybody is kind of moving Harrenhal around is Harrenhal used to be the biggest, most powerful, impenetrable castle in Westeros, and then the dragons came and utterly destroyed it. And now Harrenhal, even though it's been completely destroyed, it's still one of the most valuable and impenetrable castles.
Just because instead of big piles,
yes,
orderly stacked rocks,
yeah,
There's still big piles of rocks.
Yes, so it's, but people consider it haunted because men burnt to ash in it and all this stuff. So Harrenhal is one of those things where like, you will be Lord of Harrenhal. It's like, yay! It's like buying a haunted house. You know, it's like it's
even if
worth
it's a
something.
mansion. It's
really
spooky.
Being
as shit.
Lord of Harrenhal gives you more income and power by just being able to tax the area around it. Really, rather than actually staying in it. But as we heard, Arya and them are being taken back to Harrenhal with the Lannister army, right?
Yep.
So I just wanted to get that piece of history out there because I love it.
Now, was there a particular reason why, and this may just be coincidence, were any of the other castles attacked by dragons that are standing now?
I don't think so. I think most of the ones that were attacked were completely destroyed. Harrenhal was so great and so big that it was able to survive, but the dragons
only partially.
They still fucked it up real bad. I mean, it was a place. It was on fire. I mean, it's stone. Stone doesn't burn down.
Well, if you get it hot enough.
Well, yes, but I mean,
dragon fire.
It was still relatively there.
Yeah.
Just completely. I mean, people were baking in those halls. When the dragons came. So
I mean, you also have to consider that not all of the structure is entirely stone.
Yeah.
Like they have to build some of it out of wood.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing that happens to like
Well,
brick houses and stuff when they burn down.
We'll have more to talk about when it comes to Harrenhal.
Yeah.
I love that Tyrion did his little deception, found out that Pycelle is a little piece of shit.
Yeah,
and
a lot stronger piece of shit than
cut
it looked
off
like.
his beard, which is, I mean, he had been growing that beard for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks for him.
Now his sideburns are longer than his chin.
Yeah. Yep.
Which makes him look funny.
Yeah.
His beard comes out like this. He's like a triangle beard.
Mm-hmm. So Tyrion is cleaning up even more. I wonder who will clean up next.
Who is the next least trustworthy?
I don't know. Varys seems to be worming his way in and being friendly with him.
Yes.
Whereas Littlefinger was very upset, but kind of kept his cool a little bit. We'll see.
I think mostly he was just upset that he was made the fool, not that he was tested.
Yes. Well, it's because he's like, hey, we're going to marry... he actually went through with it. He's like, hey, we're going to marry Marcella to Robin, who was that little kid that was... And he started doing that, and then he finds out that Dorne is actually... They started doing that, So...
Like Buster Bluth.
Oh, I love that I can make those references now.
Yeah.
Last thing I really have...
His face reminds me of it, too. That big hook nose.
Yeah, a little bit. Last thing I'll say is just, we saw Gendry there, like, he's just a boy, pretty much. He looks like he's about... I think he's more of, like, 15 or 16, and he looks a little older here, but
yeah,
I would say he's around that age, or supposed to be around that age. But he was pushing, like, grown Lannister men back with, like, a little hammer.
Yeah.
I just love watching that because Robert, his father, was known to go into heavy battle with a hammer so big normal men couldn't hold it.
I love that.
Like a war hammer, very long, and then the two, a spike, and then the hammer on the top. He actually fought Dany's brother at a battle called the Trident, which was where 3 rivers meet, and they fought in the water. Like, it was very shallow at that point. They fought in the water, and he just crushed him. And that was the guy that took his love, Lyanna, Yeah. And he decimated him. He even says in the season 1, like every night in my dreams, I kill him, Ned. He just crushed him.
Jeez.
So anyway, I would
like that
to
stuff
see that?
to be... Like, even if it's not canon, I just want to see the actors do that.
There's rumors of some kind of spin-off, possibly of Robert's Rebellion. I would like that. I doubt we would get those actors. I wouldn't mind still. But a Robert's Rebellion is probably the highest wanted from the audience in terms of, like, a prequel series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand. I mean, it's a great story, and there's... I mean, we get a little bit of history, with the Greyjoys... with the... I can't even remember what they're called.
The Ironborn?
Not the Ironborn. The... The crazy guy. Mad King, his
Oh,
family.
yeah. Aerys Targaryen? Mad
Targaryen.
King?
Yeah. All the Targaryens doing their
Yeah.
stupid stuff. And
Yeah. I mean, there are some other, they call them novellas that Martin has done where he did some stories about, they're called the Dunk and Egg stories, which is about Meister Aemon.
Okay.
And, like, you know, when he was younger.
Gotcha.
And
More
there's
like a completely...
Yeah. And there's been some stories of, like, there's been some extra stuff out there. There's also a book that just came out that I have not gotten yet called The World of Ice and Fire that Martin wrote. And it's like a encyclopedia. I kind of want to get that and just check it out because it looks pretty cool. It has a lot of new, like, artwork and stuff. The cool thing, and we'll kind of end it with this.
Like a Silmarillion kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I mean, not as biblical.
No.
This is more of like an encyclopedia.
Gotcha.
But Martin always described the Iron Throne like as a towering thing. I actually want to show you, and I'll put it up on the screen. This is what Martin's Iron Throne looks like.
So that's a lot more swords.
It's much, much bigger.
Oh, man, that'd be so badass.
Yeah. Kingsguard and Little Joffrey.
Fucker.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
I would appreciate that a lot more.
Yeah,
in the throne room
it's a TV show. They can only do so much.
Well,
the
I know.
Iron Throne they have is iconic. People love the look of that Iron Throne. But
yeah.
Martin's is much more grand. But to be fair, what they're doing with this show, Martin wrote a book that he thought was unfilmable. Even Lord of the Rings, people thought that's unfilmable. Martin went even more, you know? Like, after Lord of the Rings hit, people were like, well, let's tell the Jon Snow story. And he's like, no. I mean, that's only, like, that's like 1/10 of my story. You know?
That's like exactly 1/10
He's
of the
like,
story.
the only way I'd ever do anything like this would be like some kind of, like, I don't know, like an HBO miniseries or something.
And HBO said, hey.
And that'll never happen. And now it's one of the biggest shows ever.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to be everything for Game of Thrones, guys. This was episode 3, What is Dead May Never Die. And we have a lot more to get to, and we'll be getting into that next week.
Make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
Yep, and the way you can do that is by going to places like blindwave.net. That's like Blindwave HQ. You can see everything that we have there, including some forums and an empty store and...
Going to be filling that up soon, you
and
guys.
some
Be
other
patient.
stuff like that if you want to stick. And also, it has a support us page with our Patreon. That's patreon.com/blindwave. If you like what we're doing here, you want to see us keep going, we would really appreciate the help on that.
Anything helps.
Everything helps. And if you want to make sure everything's staying free to watch and all that stuff, all you got to do... Don't burp.
Are you hungry?
I'm good. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, tell your friends, and come back next reaction. I'm Eric.
I'm Calvin.
And we'll see you later. Calvin. Button.